Hey pals. So, last time that my dreams became really active and I wasn't really saying anything, I actually got a lot of feedback that other people were having a pickup in their dreams as well. Even the people that previously couldn't remember their dreams are starting to remember their dreams. See? Anyway, my turn. So, specifically, for some reason, these busy dreams, like, normally I'm running around, I'm like talking to different people, I'm like doing a bunch of shit in the spiritual realm. But lately, I'm fighting people. I'm like, yeah, nah. It's just straight beefs in the dream realm. So normally when I'm having straight beefs in the dream realm, it usually indicates to me that either there are other people arguing or there is some type of energy that is being like recoursed. And if you can get over the feeling of the situation in the dream, then you kind of bring that reality into your life where you can change the outcomes of things, or like essentially it's like what you have done pays off, right? Like you see the results of whatever it is that you were doing. Oftentimes it has to do with like relationships. It happens a lot with my parents, and it did happen before I started like reading cards, or like it was a part of the dream world stuff. One time I had a dream I was fighting with my mom like years ago, and I wouldn't have them all the time. It would be like in certain moments, which is what hinted to me that there was some type of energetic truth to the timing of it. But I was so mad at her, and the king of water just kind of slipped out as I'm like diddling this in my hands. I wrote "fuck you" on the mirror in the bathroom with toothpaste, because I was like, this is gonna be really hard to clean. And you know what the funniest part is we were fighting like in a field, like that Windows background of like those hills and shit, like that's kind of like where the argument was taking place. And I was like, nah, yeah, fuck this, I'm out. And I like transported into my bathroom, like I just made my bathroom appear, and I walked in and I took the toothpaste and I wrote "fuck you" in that little off color blue mint green. Because toothpaste is kind of hard to clean, especially, I don't know. It's like hard when you let it dry a little bit, but it's still sticky at the same time. Hard but sticky. Okay, I also was awake today from 2:30 because Home Depot is crazy. And they're like, we might deliver this appliance from 3 to 5. Like 3 a.m. to 5 p.m. Like, oh, is the real time 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. or is it 3 a.m. to 5 p.m.? Who knows? Not me, but anyway, I was like chilling in bed, kind of falling asleep, waking up, and right when I was kind of awake, but like in meditation, I smelt like almost like a second of pancakes, but mostly like maple syrup. Like I smelt a really intense, strong maple syrup flavor. And I was like, oh, is my sister still home? Is she making pancakes? Like, and that was so like unusual that I was so excited to get up out of bed. And nobody's home except for me. And even though like I was excited to kind of experience something a little new, I mean, it's still cool because it's like that scent is alerting me of something. So it reminded me of a reel where, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if this was a reel, but there's a guy that like he puts, was it Anthony Bourdain? It might have been on the Anthony Bourdain, that like travel show. But there's this guy that he loves maple syrup so much that he puts it in everything. Like he has his own like maple farm, and he'll put maple syrup in his coffee. I think that's what I'm being called to do today, because I almost was like, should I do this? Like a few days to like a week ago, and I was like, nah. Okay, I'm getting something about like endless possibilities of breakfast. Breakfast club. I feel a lot of things trying to attach together to make one picture right now. Hold on. Maple syrup, waterfalls, a past loved one, um breakfast club. What do those all have in common? Maple syrup and waterfalls have flow. Breakfast helps you with your flow by like charging you. Like, I guess you could say breakfast could be the top of the waterfall. Breakfast club is like a bunch of people who didn't like each other, and then they realized that, oh, we're not so different, and actually we could be really great friends. So I'm getting it, but it's like to put it into words and logic is like nourishing. Okay, so some form of nourishment and connectedness and togetherness. So maybe that is what today should be about. I don't even need the cards for this one. So there's a little, you maybe thought that like your fear was taking over, or that you were stuck, or you couldn't trust people, or you couldn't trust yourself, giving up on certain things, releasing some of your power in some of a way. And the energy that was slipping in, that like sticky yet still flowy energy, like a bitter maple syrup or something. Like the bark of the tree. Because you gotta get through, or like interact with the bark of the tree in order to get the syrup, right? I don't know. Can we just pretend? Can we just pretend that I know how to that I know how to collect maple syrup? The bark of the tree. It's like the bark of the tree, like whatever tree you're dealing with, it can be like kind of rough. Like trees are strong, they can cut you. So the bark of this tree, before you can tap into it and get the liquid gold of the tree world, is, for some reason, it could be like not you not wanting to try new things, not your fear of trying new things, but something about being accustomed to other people around not wanting to try new things or having certain attitudes towards certain things. Removing that from yourself. Sometimes the people that you least expect are going to be the ones that are so down. I asked I asked my newer friends who are not from the island to join me in taking an Olelo Hawaii class, and one of them didn't even, like, they don't even know me, and they were like, yeah, I'm off on on that day, like. And the power of that, first of all, the power of me manifesting a class from the kumu that I wanted. Second, when I realized, like, I was so prepared to do it alone and be like, yes, like, this is something that, like, my younger self struggled with, like, feeling confident alone, especially in a learning environment. Oh my goodness. It was like a fish hook. Like, if the hook went through my third eye and frickin' it came out like my crown chakra. So if the tip is like here, you could also do it the other way, but mine definitely went in like that. And then I just felt like a pull forward from my head, like in that SpongeBob episode with the boats. Also, that episode where SpongeBob, like, is like screaming in his head, like, what's my name? What's my name? That is also relevant. It's giving those vibes, like SpongeBob chaos vibes. And once you kind of figure your way around the hooks, once you stop fighting the pull, I mean, I don't know how to make it sound chill, like hooking a fish, but it's definitely okay. Destiny, breaking, like completion of cycles, purification, on like really like internal DNA levels. Like your little cells in your body, your molecules, whatever, they're like shimmy shimmy pa. And then you're able to kind of tap into that energy a little bit more, and it is a process. Okay. When I received golden energy for the first time to work with, it entered through my fingertips, and it just did my fingertips and almost my palm. That type of energy will push out anything that no longer serves immensely and intensely. That's why it's really important to know which type of energy to use on what person and the moderation of that. But that's the vibe it's giving. It's like ripping the band-aid off isn't always... I mean, you don't have to do it like that if you don't want to. You don't always necessarily feel better immediately after. That's the whole point. Internal, external. So as you kind of ground yourself within your new reality, your chosen reality, you are actively like pulling energy from the stars, the clouds, the sky. You are pulling energy up from the waters, the earth. And it is all kind of coming together to like create physical manifestations, physical material things that you can like see, hear, touch, taste, smell. And so as you're doing this, it requires a lot of like unknown. Being able to play with the unknown, being able to throw your magic beans around and hope that they grow. Not always knowing which grounds you are planting those seeds into. If it is sustainable, if it is an invasive species, being able to tend to that responsibly. Like, you know how some people will like help the tree grow by like giving it a stick and some rope or something? That's the vibe that I'm getting. Like your community, the people that you're surrounded by, that are on your wavelength, that are becoming your wavelength. They're like that stick and rope. And it's interchangeable. Sometimes you're the stick and rope. Because the stick and rope kind of just like... And the tree grows. Understanding how to do that for yourself is kind of like what self-parenting is. This card has never come out before. I have no idea what this is. I'm so excited. Okay. Synthesis, harmony, highest ideals, reward, inner peace, authenticity, grace, and looking within. I mean, this is basically confirming that everything you're doing is correct for you. Everything that you are currently doing is correct for you. The navigation, the tools, the people, the places. You're learning how you want to like dress up with them. That's so funny because I don't know what I'm doing with this blanket, but things coming to life. Bringing yourself back to life in a way. Bringing the parts of you back to life that kind of died. Calling in parts of you that maybe didn't even exist before. Freedom. Authenticity. Peace is not a destination. Peace is not a still thing. Peace is a movement. So as you show up sure of yourself, as you show up confident in yourself and in others, inevitably, the more you can operate within that frequency of peace, of inner peace, of harmony. Synthesizing things together, like weaving, like molding things together. Not forcing, but like gently putting the pieces together. Like playing with Legos. Like you can make whatever you want with Legos. You can get so creative with them. You can follow the instruction manual. You can go crazy. Growth, manifestation, accomplishment, success, abundance, wealth, appreciation. Ooh, really appreciating what you do for yourself. Because if you are feeling like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm that person. I don't know if I can be that person. I don't know. You're not appreciating everything that you do for yourself. You're not appreciating the hard work that you do. It's one thing to like recognize, yeah, I work my ass off. Yeah, I'm like a bad bitch or whatever. But kindness, generosity, appreciating yourself, which is part of like spending time, energy, money, resources on yourself, caring for yourself, filling your own cup first. That's part of it. But this is really beautiful. Like to really truly appreciate yourself. Because when you do that, when people see you appreciating you, first of all, they're gonna be like, oh my God, like I do that too, or I can't wait to appreciate myself in that way too, or I'm gonna try something, a new way of self-appreciation. That is going to unlock space for more knowledge, more information. Because there's something that you know you can do, but you may be a little hesitant on it, and that hesitancy is blocking. So sometimes a way to release a block is to further explore with guidance or pals. Ooh. The reason that nobody can save you but you, the reason that you are the only one capable of like bringing yourself true divine justice is because you define what justice is for you. Oh, so if you have 2 sexual assault victims and the person, the perpetrator, the predator has been stoned to death, for one of those victims, it might seem like justice, and for the other one, it's definitely not. One of them may be more at peace with it in terms of not having to dive deep in order to function and move forward. Another one might be like, this stoning him to death didn't remove the pain and energy in my body that was put in there. And maybe I wish that instead of stoning them to death and using your energy for that, you took the time to help me process this energy. And the other one's gonna be throwing the stones with them. And that could be a form of like letting out anger and stuff. It's more about not like the cost of others, but what you define yourself, like, yeah, you can say, well, you know, blah, 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 like, what you put out comes back to you, and, like, that energy, like, would return, like, but you probably wouldn't be the one sexually assaulting people. But it does happen, so if that were the case, then you would get stoned as well, and maybe you wouldn't, then you would want to change your stance on justice, but, like, what truly is divine justice for you? Like, the money doesn't make the pain go away. The violence doesn't make the pain go away. Sometimes the love doesn't even make the pain go away. So, like, what does? You know? Maybe you could say time. Maybe you could say, like, a place or a situation, a person, an energy, or a higher power. But you still have to endure it. So, what would be the best way to endure it? You know when to, like, shoot your fiery arrows. You have incredible aim, and you know when to pop off. It's almost like fire nourishes the land. So, because we have fire and now we have earth here. Truly using the elements to replenish, to rebuild, to regrow a limb that was lost. So we got this beautiful, like, you made it, congratulations card again. And then we also have the Queen of Earth, real, kind, nurturing, abundant, fertile mind, wise, real, pragmatic. And that was so wild. I read the wrong, this is the Union card. And I had, like, a whole powerful message with that Mother card. And then it kind of just, boop. And it made me relook. Missing limb thing is, like, sticking to me. There was a dream that I had where someone appeared to me, like, with a missing limb in a wheelchair. And later on, they showed up with, like, a mother figure, and they both were missing an arm, and they both looked angry. And I never really, I kind of was just like, well, okay, what is that? Whoa. Something about decisiveness and observation. Like, observing your options is going to help you make the right choice. When people say that you really, truly don't have a choice, all they're really meaning is, like, you're going to find the thing that aligns for you. But there's limits in that, saying it like that, I feel. So anything can be right for you, honestly. Anything could be right for you if you're able to see it in that way, if you're able to create it that way, if you're able to empower yourself through that way. You can always end up where you want to be, even if you feel like you chose a shittier route, which you didn't. if you're hiking in nature, if you choose this path or that path, there's still animal feces that are going to be on the path at some point. This limb that we're regrowing, reattaching. Oh shit, I forgot I kind of had a download about this yesterday. Divine connection, like connection to the divine, feeling the presence of the divine. And this is having something to do with like the weight of everything, the heaviness, that thickness of the energy is lightening as the divine steps in, as you feel the presence of the divine. So the download that I got yesterday was something like, or it could have been this morning, I don't know. But when you are like strengthening your connection with the divine, especially if you are like a front-facing leader within, so there's always like this big point. There's always this time period of like fighting with the divine. Like, why, how the fuck could you do this for me? I don't believe in you, you always fuck me over, like that kind of stuff, like angst towards the universe type energy. That is a part of the journey, and it's like kind of tapping into that a little bit as well. And it comes back to that self-appreciation. Because if you give anybody or anything all the credit for the accomplishments and the work that you have put in, you know what I mean? Like, if you're giving away all the credit, like, there's gonna be a time when you're like, I'm useless, like, what do I even actually do? Like, you kind of balancing that power sharing between you and the divine, because you can see yourself as one, but in a type of world code switching type of way, you also see yourself as human. So understanding that your human self is just as powerful as your spiritual self, that the divine needs you as much as you need them. And there are times where, you know, you might beef with the divine, you might not get along. And so when I say that your relationship to the divine is like any other relationship, I meant that shit. 110%. 111%. So so when they say give credit where credit is due, you can do that with the divine as well. Like, if you're giving all the credit to the divine, how is the divine going to give credit to you? Because you're just going to be like, thank you. And they're going to be like, wait, we want to tell you that you're doing a good job as well. Part of it too, it's not like you're doing anything wrong. It's like during that beef zone is usually like high crunch time. Like, there's pressure. There's pressure on the divine, there's pressure on everyone, and that energy definitely does travel. Getting rid of the idea that not agreeing with the divine or beefing with the divine or like asking for more is like betraying yourself or the divine. Like, getting rid of that fear of inferiority. Getting rid of that fear that, like, God will treat you, or, like, your source, angels, whatever spirit you're looking to for guidance in that moment. Not like getting over, or, well, yeah, let's just say getting over, like, getting over that hill, of thinking that they are going to be dismissive of you or punish you or be like, that's not, you're wrong, that's not right. Like, the true love and light beings, which can be some dark beings as well, they will genuinely take into consideration what you are saying. Like, that feedback is an energetic exchange. Like, oh, I didn't really like that. Like, yeah, you should tell your spirit team that you don't like that. They can take the action for you, or they'll just provide you with comfort while they take care of everything. Do you know what I mean? The reason why you have so many options is because no situation is the same, and there's no set rule or standards for any type of living. It is work to maintain your happiness and your joy, because no matter how much you try to keep things the same, like, externally, things will change. So internally, reinforcing your thought processes, your way of life, your way of being, the things that you love, being able to embrace that and not hate on it, being able to embrace that and move forward loving it, rather than being like, oh, I can't believe it. Because there's people who still like those things, and you don't want to, like, fuck it, do whatever you want. But I'm just saying, like, don't hate on that past version of yourself. When you speak to the divine about things that you don't like, you're able to receive information and opportunities that you do like. You're not being ungrateful if you don't want this or that or whatever. Like, sometimes it's just about waiting for the right time. And not really just, like, waiting for the right time. Sometimes you do have to take action into what you are waiting for, in a sense. Which can be as simple as just speaking up to the divine, to a person. Fertility, independence, self-esteem, confidence, self-expression, self-exploration, self-interest, creativity, codependence, death and rebirth right there. Equilibrium, flexibility, balance, adaptability, compromise, confidence, freedom. Abundance, consciousness, giving, receiving, energy, love, appreciation. Healing, release, purification, forgiveness, transformation. So we got transformation twice. 2 different types of transformations. We'll say internal and external. Because baby is incubating in this egg and this man is just outside. So we'll say internal, external. So really spending time with yourself. If the world around you is not interesting you at the time, that's the time to really have fun and play with yourself. Like, play is a really non-pressure way to get to know each other. I'm hearing, I would love to be your guide, and I would love to be your guide. Something, something, we know each other. Something, something. Something about working together well. Maybe your your higher self is calling out to be your guide. Maybe you're looking for a guide externally and you are realizing that you were looking for yourself the whole time, and that everything else on the external is abundance because it is added. It is like adding those aces to the deck. When we feel disinterested in the world, it's just a call to pay attention more to your world so that you can bring more of your inner world externally. A force to be reckoned with. The magic wisdom card, are you serious? Community on the bottom of the deck again. It was when I started, but I didn't want to say anything. I was like, I want to see if it's gonna be at the bottom again. World soul, psychic healing. You can be excited without like looking or sounding excited. You're allowed to still express your excitement even when you're externally don't seem excited. That's a big thing too. Like, you don't always look how you feel, so embrace it. Braces for teeth or body parts, bracelets might be significant. Some type of brace. Embracing from like the magical realms, the spiritual realms, the dream realms. Embracing that in the physical realm. Spreading the magic, no matter how it looks or feels in the moment. This energy is so like being careful and mindful also of how you talk about emotions and feelings that you don't like. Because you never know who you're connected to, you never know who's listening. And you never know how a dose of kindness can... And kindness can look like laughter, right? Like, kindness can look like compassion. Kindness can look like silence. Kindness can look like space. Whatever kindness looks like for you in this moment, it is definitely here and more is coming in. Talking about braces and stuff. Hair, jewelry, whatever. Recognizing that those things are to embellish you, that they're there to enhance you and provide you with spiritual protection, provide you with joy. But the jewelry that you wear, the way that you dress, the way that you feel about yourself are all embellishments. They are adding to your beauty. So it is worth it to take the time to find the people, the places, the things that you truly, really do feel loved by and called towards, and comfortable in. There may be a few opportunities where you have the freedom to move if you would like to. And it's okay to turn those down or to wait until you feel like the right option comes along. Don't feel like you have to move or go somewhere just because you feel like you should, or that it would be like you don't have to. It's okay to want to learn about yourself before learning what's around you. On the flip side to that, traveling and meeting different communities and going into places where you are not as knowledgeable helps you learn about yourself. Look at this guy. He's like, I'm a figure it out. I'm gonna find out what parts of me exist that I didn't even know existed. Yeah. I'm gonna just let the cards speak for themselves. I should just make a video where I just like flip the cards and I don't even say anything. That would be so funny. I'll probably do that. I kind of do that. So for the closeout message, we got the King of Water representing calm, contemplative, insightful, fluid, balanced, protective, nurturing. And the Six of Earth, family, community, providence, protection, dependability, responsibility, duty, service, self-sacrifice. Take care of yourselves, take care of your communities. Have fun playing with the magic. Have fun celebrating. Understanding that our needs change, like they fluctuate due to all types of circumstances, and to make space, make time for yourself.